These are Legos. You can take them, move them all around, basically little bitty pieces, bigger pieces, even longer pieces, to create something pretty decent, or just create a brick. This is in reference to basically the automotive world, where through all your manufacturing and research and development, you're able to come up with individual little bricks that, like chassis and engines and drivetrains, that you can kind of modify and move around and make together to either make something really crazy, like Chrysler's doing right now with their Hellcat engine and drivetrain, to do anything from the Challenger to things as crazy as the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, which is kind of really weird if you think about it, but cool weird. Anyways, does that make sense? Cool weird, Matt?
Go with it, Zach. I want to hear where this is going.
So there's another manufacturer, and they've got a lot of really cool parts that they've put together. The only problem is that they've only made one really cool thing out of it. The other parts are just nice, reliable, and smooth. And that they really truly wanted to create a whole lineup of crazy, great, good things, they absolutely could. And I'm talking to you, Honda. So you've got the Civic Type R, which has a history of being, in other parts of the world, but a history of being a really hot, just fast, maneuvers very well, kind of compact sedan or hatchback in the history of it, but nothing else. Honda makes nothing else really crazy. Even the Accord Sport isn't really sport per se, it's just more looks. So here's some things that Honda could do to easily expand their Type R lineup and take all of their products to a whole new different level and almost basically take over the automotive world. It would also give them probably a heart attack because it's very not a Honda thing. The first part, you could take the Fit, that little bitty subcompact hatchback. Very easily you could take the Civic SI engine, transmission, because that 1.5 liter turbo 205 horsepower engine in the Civic SI, the base bones of that is the same 1.5 that lies in the Fit. So take the engine, transmission, including that wonderful limited slip differential out of the Civic SI, bolt it right into the Fit Type R, do a little bit of suspension and some body stiffening, and boom, you got a Fit Type R. Now I move on to the next easiest thing to do, and this actually came from a conversation that Matt and I were having, that you could easily, you got to keep it under $50,000. I don't know if you'd be able to do that or not, but if you took the Honda Ridgeline, did some suspension stuff to where it jacked it up just ever so slightly, you take all of the drivetrain out of the Acura MDX super handling all-wheel drive and bump power up a little bit, now you've got a Ridgeline Type R off-road edition that could easily go head-to-head with the Ford Raptor, something nobody else has been able to do. And with Honda's unique all-wheel drive, or independent rear suspension and independent all-the-way-around suspension and unibody construction, I think you could do some really cool things with that. And you could bump horsepower up above about 450 to 500 horsepower, and yeah, things could get really kind of nuts from there. The fourth one, including the Civic Type R, the fourth one would be a little bit more on the difficult side, and Matt and I have kind of a disagreement about this one, and that is the Accord Type R. So Matt, tell them what your idea is real quick.
So with the Accord Type R, all you have to do is, because the chassis will already take all-wheel drive, which we know from the Acura TLX, right? It's already available in the all-wheel drive format. So you just take the 2.4 liter engine that's already in the base Accord and put a turbo on it. You know, tweak it a little bit, and you could easily be 350 horsepower, maybe even more, and take it up past where the Ford Fusion Sport is. And as we all know, the Ford Fusion Sport won't be around a whole lot longer, so I think there's a lot of potential there, and it could be nice and bonkers and be this amazing, the most amazing Accord ever sold in the US, and it wouldn't be that hard.
See, mine is a little bit more simpler than that. See, mine is you take the 2.0 liter that's already in the Civic Type R, which, by the way, is basically just restructured with internals, is the same one that's in the Accord 2.0 turbo that pumps out now 253 horsepower. But then you take it, bump the displacement up to 2.5 liters, and continue with all that type of stuff, and it's the same size, same engine. You've just kind of punched it out a little bit. No replacement for displacement, people. And boom, you've got 450 horsepower coming out of a Accord. And to make it even crazier, you leave it front wheel drive. Yeah. So that's my suggestion for you guys at Honda. Fit Type R, Ridgeline Type R, Accord Type R to go already with your Civic Type R, and make something crazy, people. Matt, you got anything else to say?
So Zach, there is one point I did want to contend with you on, which is the Ridgeline, which is, I think you forgot to mention, this should be an MDX hybrid version, so that you're getting electric motors to the rear wheels in that Ridgeline. So
okay, I didn't want to say hybrid. I was avoiding the word hybrid. That's why I used the super handling all-wheel drive, because that is a hybrid version of it. But I didn't want to use hybrid because this I just super handling all-wheel drive. Just hybrid, no.
what Zach's forgetting is that the all-wheel drive system that's in the Ridgeline right now is the Acura super handling all-wheel drive system already. So it's the sport hybrid super handling all-wheel drive that I'm looking for.
Oh, okay, so the modified version of what's in the NSX.
Right, it's the NSX drivetrain flipped around, basically. So 2-motor or 3-motor, preferably the 3-motor system. Stick with the 3.5 liter. Don't downsize to the 3.0 that's on the MDX. That was done for gas mileage. Forget gas mileage. It's a Ridgeline. Just give it more power. And it'll be awesome. There's no drive shaft to the rear wheels. It's electric motors straight up, massive torque. You're good to go.
Yep. And the worst part is, it ended up being cool, Honda, which you're not. So, Zach?
And I'm Matt. And we're MZ Car Guys.
Yep.